Money. Talking about money. So basically, I try to always have a conversation to get people motivated. I have my usual gender talks, um, self-improving slash whatever conversations. They keep putting like crumbs in it about the money. Because going back to the same thing at the end of the day, you need money to survive. You need money to live. You need money to produce certain things. You need money for growth. So I mean, you keep having the same talk, same argument, if anybody want to call it that, to money. MONEY. Like, what is going to be the big thing? Shout out to K Business Podcast, man. I've been missing a couple of your things, man. I got to sit down and go back and look at your videos, man. You know, but yeah, man. It's like we never had a discussion about money. Like, we have all these topics about the women changing, men changing, you know, but what's the topics about people making more money to benefit themselves? You know, I mean, when it come down to it, you have a great podcast yourself, K's business podcast, man. It's awesome, man. You get people involved in the aspect of, owning the business, customers, clients, employees, looking grants and everything, man. I check you out. But the view, like, we need more people in there watching to have an understanding. Don't have this conversation when you later on in life, 50, 60 years old, trying to, make money to your fullest potential. Should be doing it now. Even with the life insurance, I push Alonzo Hall all the time, man. You know, and guys not understanding that Alonzo is giving you gems, but we're so caught up on trying to figure out, you know, the next breakout with Cardi B having, or you know, the dude is gonna make it to the league and get you want about somebody else's pocket, pocket watching. Shout out to pocket watching with JT. You know, let's get back to the fundamentals of what can I produce and make for myself. A lot of people are not having in that conversation that what are we gonna do long term? What's going on, Tone? What are we gonna do long term? A lot of people say, well, it's hard. It's not easy to get the best job. You got a car? Go do some DoorDash. Little extra side money on the side. Uber Eats, Postmates. I seen that Uber Eats have it to where there's no excuse. If you get a bike, you can Uber Eat on a bike. I think I seen it in Uber where you can pick up packages and drop them off to people. Like, it's so many ways of making money right now. I don't understand how a lot of guys, and women complain about this because, I always go back to the same thing when I say knowledge of self. What do you want? And a lot of people haven't asked themselves that. Like, what do I want out of life? What do I want? Do I want to get married? Do I want to stay single? Do I want kids? Or do I don't want kids? One or the other. You know, Toya had a great discussion yesterday. Was talking in reference to she didn't see a good household, so it was something that was a fairy tale to her. So she didn't want kids. Certain expectations of kids to the point where she didn't want a lot of that stuff coming back on her. Like she probably had a relationship with her mom. I mean, for instance, with me. You know, there were certain things that went on in my life. Shout out to Rose Gold. It's a lot of things that went on in my life that I don't want my kids to go through. So my son, I always tell him, why you think your daddy works so hard? Why do you think your daddy putting in these long hours? Had a conversation with your kids, and if you ain't got kids, once again, you got to go back to that self awareness. You got to have a conversation with yourself. Like, what are you doing this for? You know, and I go back to saying, I'm not doing all this stuff to benefit my kid. I mean, to a degree, I'm doing it to benefit them. Well, I'm doing it to a degree to benefit myself. Like, a lot of people don't have self awareness. You know, they don't think about themselves when willing and dealing with a lot of things. You know, it's always an expectation of, I got to do this for somebody else. I got to do this for my kids. I got to do this for my wife. I got to do this for my family. It starts with you first because you got to have that willpower to do it. Even if you say you do certain things for your kids. Yeah, I mean, that's a great one, man. Picking up scrap metal, picking up pallets. My job, man, drive box trucks. I do deliveries, and most of the stuff is on pallets. I take the pallets and sell them. Like, I think I just sold a guy about 40 pallets. I think it was like 42 pallets, and I got 146 $146 off of just selling 42 pallets. And the thing is, I didn't have to put in no work but putting the stuff on the truck. I didn't have to do what most guys do, go around looking, asking for pallets. People just give them to me on my route, you know. Easy money. I ain't even have to really break a sweat. And then some of the times I go to places that need pallets, I could easily sell them the pallets $10 a pop. You know, those 42 pallets I had while I sold to the other guy, you know, $10 a pop, easy. I could have got what was it, 420, easy. But when it come down to it, some of those be hard to get. You know, and not only that, being a handyman, certain little things, the jack of all trades and the master of none. A jack of all trades is better than the master of one. That's what we never hear at the end of that. A jack of all trades is better than the master of one. That's what we never hear. You know, I talked about how I'm getting an electrician, learning how to, wire up certain things, outlets, putting in ceiling fans, learning how to do plumbing, installing toilets, um, gas lines and stuff like that. I really don't like touching that gas line too quick, but getting into it. I want to learn how to do brick mason. I got a little bit, in concrete. My brother does that, so he showed me a little here and there. But carpentry, carving wood and all that. Know how to put cabinets together. All this. Like, I'm actually gonna do my countertop. About to get that kit. I seen online. It's a company called Stone Cold Countertops. And so basically, what they do, they use epoxy, and they run the epoxy to have um, the counter look like marble, you know. And a lot of people can Google this, look it up on YouTube. The company Stone Cold Countertop, and they whole thing is, you got this. That's their logo, you know. And the crazy part is, if I get good at that, I can actually go around and start doing it for other people. You know, not only that, they have like picture frames. I can epoxy picture frame. I can go buy the wood from Home Depot, just basic trimming. Take the trimming, cut those 45-degree angles, staple the corners together, and epoxy different color frames to look like marble, to look like, just polished wood. I can stain the wood, polish it up, make it darker color, lighter color, all this stuff, man. You know, and the crazy part is, man, you can do so much. Like it's so many things you learn. I got into crypto with one of my homeboys. I learned, more about it through YouTube, Googling, you know. The trade-off with the YouTube and the internet right now, man, you having this device in your pocket can look up anything. It's hard for you to be taken advantage of right now unless you just literally want to be taken advantage of. So, like I said, my biggest push is to get people involved in, the game. Getting people involved in, life insurance, pushing people to say, you know, I want to invest in some of most of these people, and I keep going back to this with my wife. My wife wanted to get into Bitcoin because everybody was talking about it like 2 years ago, possibly 3 years ago, like 18 or something like that. So basically, didn't know anything about crypto. She just heard everybody saying they getting Bitcoin. So she said, I want some Bitcoin. You got Bitcoin? I was like, yeah, why? She's like, well, I want some. I'm like, for what? What does it matter? You know? So finally I go and say, well, I'm gonna give you some Bitcoin, I'm gonna give you $5. She's like, $5? Why can I get more than that? You know? So I'm like, cool. All right, I give you $25. Give her $25 in Bitcoin. I burned through my money, doing little deals and stuff. Lo and behold, I made her account, everything, set it up on an email. She never really like took the account serious, so she didn't do anything with it. And when Bitcoin went up, some just, Trigger was like, I wonder if she still got her Bitcoin. So I go to her phone, grab it, pull up the app, set everything up, put the password in. She got $465 off of $25. At the time, I couldn't even tell you when I bought it. I mean, what I invested into the Bitcoin at how much it was, But all I know is I gave her 25 about 3 years ago, and now she's sitting at like 465 or something. And she's laughing and all this talking. Oh man, yeah man, that's crazy. And I'm like, see, a person that wasn't even interested in Bitcoin just got $25 and then turned it into 460. You know, a lot of these people are making millions just putting $20 into it. I got this new coin. It's basically along the lines with Shiba Inu and Doge. It's the Elon Mars. What is it? I think it's Doge Mars. I think it's like Doge Mars coin. But I got that. I think you can get like 5 million for like $10. And I got, a good little bit. And all I need to do is to kick it to a penny. I'm good. If it kicks to $1, I'm multi-millionaire right here. But a lot of people got into these different little cryptos before they blew up. That's how they were able to make millions, complete millions off of it. And some people lie, speculate, this and that, but when it comes down to it, it's easier ways to win right now investing. Stocks. You don't have to go the stock route. I mean, you can but do the study. A lot of people don't want to study the craft, put in the time and energy into doing this. If I'm gonna invest, I'm at least know a little bit about it to where I won't be the odd man in the room. I know about mining. I once had a mining contract. So like the biggest thing is like what are we gonna really do for ourselves? What are we gonna do for one another when we're giving each other this information? You know, that's the helping hand that people need, the information. And I keep going back to this. I'm in this space for the information, man. Like everything else is almost irrelevant to me. You know, the conversations we have, I do know the gender war stuff. It's a lot of people go through this, and I get it. But overall, what are we really doing in this space if we're not helping one another? That's my biggest takeaway from the whole argument about people in this space when we have these discussions. Even outside of the whole Black Manosphere, to different channels I go to, you know, Frugal Mama, she's one of them. We have great conversations. She reads books like Gold Professor do on her channel. She has exercise, motivational videos, great. Nothing to do with the manosphere. And like I tell people, I'm associated with the manosphere due to me always being over there dealing with those guys. But, could you say if you asked me I was in the manosphere, I would say no, you know. And to a degree, the reason why I say it is because the manosphere has a stain on them. And to me, I don't look at it far as the health wise. Yeah, shout out to you. You have a great channel. Like I said, I catch you when I can. I'm always trying to support. But when it comes down to it, guys, you got to start respecting one another. Respecting people's boundaries. You know, might hit a little dead zone right here because I drive these trucks. But the crazy part is like when I go to other spaces and we just focus on just topics. Yeah, we have the conversation about men act this way, women act this way, but it doesn't go into depth as we do in the Black Manosphere area, you know. And everybody hear it as a topic of run when you hear those guys talking about the Manosphere, you know. But when it comes down to it, I go to a lot of channels. Oh, Char's in the building, like Char is one of the women that are, in these spaces of the Manosphere. And, she understands the balance of all this stuff. But when it comes down to it, like, what are we really representing for ourselves? What are we doing for ourselves? If we're more focused on the money that I keep trying to push and say, you're going to help these younger men plus the women, because I always say this. If we build great men, we teach our boys how to be successful, get them more involved in tech and reading, have an understanding who they are. Who are they going to marry? Are they going to marry the same women in which the guys talk about? Or are they going to marry different women? You know, most men have daughters. Like, what are you teaching your daughter to go out in this world and do? You know, how are you helping your sons and daughters? Because I got both. I got son and daughter. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell my son, you a man, go out there and sow your royal oats, but then tell my daughter, don't get pregnant. No, it goes for both. Have an understanding. You're not out here trying to make babies just like she's not out here trying to get babies. You know, who is my son going to be able to marry if, I don't teach him the proper way to, vet a woman? And who is my daughter going to marry if I don't teach her the proper way to vet a man? You know, it's a balance in the system. And overall, the main goal is you know, you need money. I gave this yesterday to some guys. I said, going into the liquor store, you buy liquor. When you don't have enough money, you're gonna go to the back of the store, grab a beer out the case, or you're gonna look at the bottom shelf and get the most cheapest liquor you can find. But once you got a little money in your pocket, you tend to splurge a little bit, get something that's eye level, top shelf. You know, most people they get the regular Hennessy that people that drink Hennessy. But when you got a little money, you get the XOP, you get the VSOP, you get the black, the black bottle. You know, a lot of people never knew what that tastes like. They get the regular Hennessy. They don't know the aging process, the smoothness, no bite, which I don't, you know, go through the Hennessy. But, just for people who drink it, they understand that analogy. You know, when it come down to it, money helps you make better decisions to your liking that you can benefit from. So, and I'm not doing no high value Kevin Samuels or whatever. I'm doing a standing on principles, you know, knowing the money that you have can take you far. That's what I'm doing in life. You know, what's gonna help you and not hurt you. Because, don't want nobody to have a downfall right now in life because of circumstances. You know, there, there's a lot of people I know that make well over 100,000, and there's a lot of people I know that don't make that. That don't make them more of a man because they make the money. I knew men who've made thousands of dollars, and when I was coming up, and when I got married, would want to trade with me in a heartbeat because of that's what they wanted. Family, happiness, that's what they wanted. They would give up their money to get what I had. Then I knew guys that don't make a lot of money that had that same, mindset. When it comes down to it, you know, whether it be from any angle, that's what you need. You literally need that in life in order to, kind of set the tone for you to have some type of level of greatness. Understanding the money aspect. But it always starts, like I keep going back to it, and I'm gonna always say this: knowledge of self. What do you want? I can't help you if you don't know what you want. So what do you want? You know, do you want to be great? Do you want to have the potential to make more money? Or you just want to be mediocre? You want to be just average. The crazy part is you can work at McDonald's, work on the fries. Work on the fries for 10 years and be successful at making fries at McDonald's. That doesn't make you less of a man. And if that's your goal, just to be the best French fry fryer at McDonald's, then by all means, cool. That was your goal in life, to be the best fryer at McDonald's. You don't have no other expectations but that, then by all means, you accomplish your goal, you set a standard, and you got there. I'm not shaming nobody for that. But for the people who want more out of life and keep trying to figure it out, like, go around people that can help you. You know, go around people that can go around people that can, put you in a decent light. You know, have an understanding what your circle is. I got a dude that I normally talk to, one of my friends, and he would always be like, "Why you always talking about this guy and money?" And like I explained to him, I wanted to better myself, and with me bettering myself was to make more money. You know, change certain outcomes in my life. You know, even with Alonzo, and we had our discussions when I got the policies for my boys. You know, I basically got the policies. I got 3 policies already for myself. I'm actually going to add 2 more. One of them I'm actually going to do when I get older. I'm just going to get another term policy and let that ride out because terms are better when you're older, um, depending on what you're doing with the policies. And I know that I just need the money aspect far as for the kids. So that's why that term is going to be effective for me. But getting into a savage about to come on, but getting into a whole life policy or universal life, those are the ones that are going to help me, grow my money when I get old. You know, I can go in there and take money out. I go in there. My thing is, I'm looking at keeping the money flowing now to when I get older. I'm just gonna go in there and buy me, some condos, probably buy some apartments, you know. And people might say, "Oh, well, you're only gonna have, a couple of million, or a couple. Let's say I get about like 900,000 in that policy I can take out. Let's even go lower than that. 500,000. I can have 500,000 in my policy that I can take out because the universal life it grows with me. So I can have 500,000 in that policy. Pull it out. Don't go buy a house. Just put down on some apartments. You know, small little duplex subdivision, and I started making money right off the rip because of, you know, looking at the portfolios. I was looking at trying to get me a quadplex right now. It was well, basically it's a set of duplexes, but 4 units. I was actually doing some work on them, and when the guy was finishing up, he wanted 1.9 for him. It wasn't worth it. Me being doing the contract work on it, it wasn't worth 1.9. I told him that. I was like, realistically, 1.2 is good, but he had this whole notion with a agent that told him. And the crazy part with the agent that I laughed at, I'm like, how's this agent giving you this price? Like, what is in reference and was she giving you the price off of? The neighborhood, the comps in the area? Because I looked at the comps in the area and there are mostly houses selling for a certain price, but not those. And going across the bridge from where they were located at in Brookhaven, they had, you know, duplexes selling for like 2 and 3 million on that side. And, he was looking like, well, if they can get it over there, you should be able to get close to that on yours. And I'm like, your agent is not measuring the space. Like the amount of space that you have compared to that person, no, you're not getting that much. So finally he brought it down, but I'm like, you ran majority of the buyers, which helped me out if I was gonna get it, until he dropped it down to what I said, 1.2. 1.2, he sold it less than a month. He's actually closing beginning of the year. Because I was doing my research. All I needed, go FHA, stay in one of the units. If I went FHA up to 4 units, you can go FHA. Didn't know that, but doing my research, I found that out. So literally, I was going to stay in one of the units, you know, have it to where I have a family member stay in it, and I come in there. My wife, even if we would have moved in there, my wife and kids, we could have moved in that unit and rented out my house. You know, that was still a good win for me. And I had three other units plus a house. But the deal didn't go through. It actually sold it. It's gonna be kind of choppy right here. I don't know if you guys can still hear me, so I'm just gonna push on for a minute. I know I get choppy right here in this corner. If y'all can hear me, put a one in, and if not, then I know I'm breaking up on my internet. Okay, so I'm good. Oh, the man.
Sheed, what's happening, baby?
What's going on?
Nothing
Nothing
much,
much, nothing
man. I'm
much.
sitting here. I'm sitting here, and I was just scrolling the YouTube streets while I'm trying to get some work done here, and I hear you talking about money.
Hey man, that's
What?
always the motivator. That's always the motivator.
what that's the motivator, one of my favorite subjects. And I hear you talking about some real estate, right?
Yeah.
So I take it we talking to a bunch of black folks.
Hmm.
Now, the one, yeah. So the one thing is, black people, is that if you want to make some money, you got to be willing to take some risk. Okay, everything's not a sure thing, right? But you can minimize your risk and make safer investments, right? You can. Now, if you got $5, this is the first way if you want to get started. Take $5, put it on your Cash App, and invest in the market. And invest in one of those companies that have been around for a long time that you see. Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Nike, because you can do something called fractional sharing.
Fractional shares.
Fractional shares, right? You get fractional shares, right? Won't take you nothing. But what it will do for you is that it will help you get over that initial fear of losing money, right? So the market gets you about 12 to 13.9, maybe 14, sometimes 15%. But at least you'll be over the initial fear. And then every time you turn around, try putting $5 in, $10 in, $20 in. And then you'll start noticing that, oh, wow, I got 3 cents in a dividend, right? 3 cents in a dividend. It doesn't really matter, but at least now you can see that your money is making money. Even without you
I
doing
mean,
anything, just having your money parked over there. Go ahead, bro.
nah, I just want to share this too. Um, when I got into stocks, I got me a Capital One account through one of my guys that I know that work with the IRS. Because basically, he audits people. So he actually was going over this account, and the guy worked at Walmart. I think he made like 32 or 36, for the year. But the guy had like 100 and some $1,000 that he had claimed on his taxes, and majority of it was through the stocks. And he had a good teacher to the point where he was doing stock options, plus he was just buying the regular stocks and everything. But he was killing on stock options, and he had to claim all that on his taxes, and that's what got him into it, and he pushed me into it. And one of my own boys, he been trying to get me into stocks, but my whole thing, because once again in the community, we have an understanding to where certain people push narratives to where they say, if you ain't got a lot of money, don't get into it because you'll waste your time. And that was one of my things why I fought it on doing it at a younger age, you know. And now I know these things. I'm trying to get my sons. I'm trying to get them to actually get a wallet for crypto. I'm gonna get them $150 each, and I'm gonna let them buy whatever crypto they want, you know, and just run the market. If it hit, it hit. If it don't, it don't. My thing is, I get them, way more than that in toys and other things. So why not give them some money to show them how to invest to where they can take a loss, where they get a gain, and then they understand what they're dealing with, you know. And it's best to do it right now while they're 10 to motivate them to get in the game at an early age.
Well, if you and I agree with that, right? I agree with that. Right now, I am a proponent for if they're young people, getting one of those green light cards, get into that program because it helps out, right? But for adults, here's what actually makes money as adults. Here's what's gonna make you money. You have to partner with people your age. Okay. Find yourself or establish a real estate investment trust. Okay. A real estate investment trust. Basically, what that is that you get a trust, develop a company, and you purchase real estate. Period. Now, the reason for the real estate investment trust is so that you, as your group, can work together. You have to pool your money together. I think it's 100 people got to have like $1,000 or something like that to establish this trust. So it's going to take some work. But the deal is that you will be able to buy right. You'll be able to buy right. Now, what she just spoke to you about was how you can get up to 4 units. See, the deal is that you can go FHA and you can get 4 units. If I had the all of the programs, I'll tell you what you guys could do. Search HUD, HUD, right? HUD.gov or something like that. And look at the housing and the housing guidelines because they will give it to you and they'll tell you, you need a 580 credit score. You could purchase up to 4 units if you meet this certain criteria. Now, it's not just for a 4-plex apartments. It's 4 separate units.
Yeah.
Which means this. You can build 4-unit townhomes stuck together. 1 townhome, 2 townhome, 3 townhome, 4 townhomes. You can live in 1 townhome for free. Oh, and by the way, the income from those said townhomes that's connected to yours, that's how you would use towards your DTI, which is debt to income ratio.
Yep.
So that you'll be able to purchase the homes prior to you ever building them. There is way too many ways out here for you to make money. Way too much. And you can live in an actual townhome. You're building them so you can say these is 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Brand new. And the government will help you do that. They will help you get it financed.
The crazy part about that, a lot of guys in this space, when I actually came over through this lady, Erica Williams. And if people don't know who she is, go look her up. Erica with a CKA. with a K. But Erica Williams, man, she had, this guy on there, and the guy basically, I forgot what this guy did. I know he did something along the lines. He had his own website, and he processed, things with business. I forgot what his actual job was, but basically, he had his business for like 3 years. Went to the bank, got a loan for a $900,000 brownstone, and basically turned it into 3 units. You know, Remodeled it, everything, did the bird strategy, and he stayed at. I think he said he stayed in the bottom or the middle one. I think he said the middle because the bottom and the top, they're the ones that's most sought after. People don't want to go upstairs and elevate all that. But then the third one is like, more or less prestige. You stay on the top floor, then you got some money.
It's the
So
penthouse, baby.
yeah, the penthouse. Yeah, so basically when it came down to it, like he got the brownstone and he ended up renting out the other 2 floors to where he essentially didn't have to pay anything, and he was getting income off those properties, you know. And he went into detail because he discussed about how much he was renting them out for, and he was making the money off of them, which was hella good. You know, it was in the high thousands. I just don't want to throw out the numbers, but I know it was a little bit over three, something like that. But like that was just for 1 unit, probably. I think he was saying. But when it really came down to it, it was crazy. Like, a lot of people, just some simple stuff. Like, okay, prime example. I know a lot of people don't like Robinhood. This guy, he did a video what made me get into Robinhood when I was messing with Capital One investing. He sent out 10 invites to people he know, got them to sign up for Robinhood. He said, well, basically it's like this. You don't got no stocks. You want to invest in stocks. He gave them the motivational speech about, being ahead of the curve. I'll give you a free stock to get you invested. All you need to do is have your bank account set up on there. Don't buy anything. Don't put no money. Just make your bank account set up and you'll get a free stock. So, did that. Out of the 10, all 10 set up the account. On average, Robinhood gives you like a $5. Every now and then you get a $10 stock, but on average it was a $5 stock. He got $50 worth of stock in his account, what I'm saying, with 10 different companies. After having those 10 companies in his account for a month, he just pulled their money out and put it in his bank account. So he had free $50. All he had to do was just get people to invest into making their accounts. For people who use the money and start buying more stocks, that's better for them. He took the 50 and transferred it to another account to buy stocks with I think another firm he was dealing with. But the whole point, it's like little small hustles that people don't want to take that small initiative in doing in the research. That's why I say, doing research, you'll start to learn way more about, a lot of things. That's why I was saying about buying the units. With me having life insurance, like I said, I can go into my life insurance at an older age and take 500,000 out down and put it on some apartments. Because once you get into, I learned that too. I think Alonzo spoke on it too, but you know, I was looking at Orlando. What is Orlando's name? It's Orlando. I think Orlando, not Orlando Brown. That's the actor, but it's Orlando something. But this guy basically explained how he had a friend that had, I believe it was 8 units. He had 8 units. He originally bought the 8 units. I think it was like in Kentucky somewhere for like 800,000. He was willing to sell him the 8 units for like 450. And the guy was like, well, Why so? Because he's like, unlike buying houses and things of that nature, the units that he had in those apartments, they go off the income. So basically, he had 4 units that wasn't paying. One guy he was squatting, he ain't paid in like a year and something, and I don't know how that process went, but he was just tired of that tenant. Then he had due to I think it's the moratorium where two of the tenants stopped paying 8 months. Then the other tenant just started 3 months prior to that. So he had 4 consistent people paying on the regular, and the rest of them. So that's how he had to sell to go off the people that were actually paying. That was gonna be the value of, I guess, what the units were worth. So he just basically threw them like at 450 to just to get rid of it as a hair. Like it was a headache for him. He thought it was a good thing buying the units, but then it turned out people just weren't paying. Sometimes you go through that taking losses and issues, but it's all about doing your research, and I keep going back to that.
Okay, bro. If you could, can you share my screen real quick?
All right, let me see because I'm on the phone. There we go.
Oh, you want the
Add
phone? See if
on.
you can do that. All right.
There you go.
So this is what HUD looks like, right? So up in here, only thing you have to do is type in 203K, right? Because now 203K is the actual name of the loan that we were just talking about, right? So prior to that, though, I just looked up some other stuff, and it's a 203K rehab loan. Now, the reason why it's structured this way is because you can do a fix up, you can do a fix and flip, right? You could buy a property, use it as your primary residence, right? So if you see here, what is this guy talking about? Kind of blow it up some, see if that works out for everybody. Let's see. So right here, FHA. So there's only one legitimate way to use a 203K loan as an investment property. You can buy, renovate, or construct or convert a multifamily 2 to 4 unit building, right? So remember when I told you guys the townhomes, because they're together, it's considered one structure. It's a building, but they're all townhomes, right? But think about this for a second. You can have your own building built, and the government will help you and live in one of the units. FHA borrowers to purchase 2 to 3 to 4 unit properties and renovate them using a 203K loan. To fulfill the FHA's residency condition, you need to occupy just one of the units yourself as a primary residence for at least 12 months. All you have to do is live there for 1 year. You can rent out the other units and even use the rental income to cover your monthly mortgage payments. Right? So, and just like what he's saying, while this might not be your first idea as an investment property, it could be a foot in the door for first-time investors who want to test out owning rental properties. Now, let me explain something to you. You could rent out the properties, right? Those 3 units. Hire a property management company, and they will never know that you're the landlord. Hire a property management company to deal with the other 3 units, and all you have to do is sit back and collect the check. That's all you have to do. This is money in your pocket while you get to live for free. I mean, this is better than welfare. This is better than food stamps. Right? The only drawback, you have to live there for 12 months. Right? and you'll just be living next door to your tenants. Okay, that's it. Listen, get over to HUD.gov, right? Get over there. I think we lost She. Did we lose him? Are we still on the stream? I think we lost She, though. Hey, if anyone there, let me know. If anyone is still there, do me a favor, put a one in the chat. Okay. Well, she's not here, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop out.
Damn, what happened to him? Yeah, it fell off, man, doing something for my job. Yeah, I'm good. I am back. Yeah, I fell off doing something for my job, but yeah. And a lot of people don't understand. Even when buying a house, the crazy part is this: you can actually go FHA and seeing as if, say, you got bad credit, you know, but you got enough credit to qualify for a house. Going into this, I think minimum with FHA is, it used to be a 580, but you had to have so much down payment and so much other stuff and everything. But the crazy part is this: you can have down payment assistance through your bank. I know in Georgia they have programs. You just look it up, down payment assistance. Georgia have a program called the Georgia Dream, to where if you stay in a house for 5 years, you don't have to pay the money back. They got a program in Atlanta called the Habitat for Humanity. It's just like um, Salvation Army and Goodwill, but their whole thing is building communities. So not only do you donate your things and they resell to people, but they also build houses. And in Atlanta, I think they build about a total of probably, I want to say 50 or more houses a year. Because I know in one neighborhood, I know they built a whole habitat community in which every one of the houses, just low income houses that they built. And you'll actually have to provide your hours of working on other people's houses, and they have like professionals to come do the more high maintenance things, but they will show you how to put a stud in, show you certain ways of attaching your sink. So the best thing is this: you're actually learning how to install a faucet. So whether it be a man or a woman that gets the house, they have some idea or indication on doing the work to their own home. you know they have a lot of good things and a lot of good programs within there that people sometimes don't take advantage of because they just don't know about them. And that be the scariest thing in our community and all around. We don't know about the program, so we kind of miss out on it. But like the biggest thing that I try to get people to understand and stay focused on is doing the research in order to get your money, get things together. And knowing about these programs can help you when looking for a home. I got a partner, he does real estate. I had him on my channel once before. And customer, all right, let's see. Yeah, but the whole thing is, when dealing with people, you got to understand the person you're dealing with, understand what you want. When I was getting the house, me and my friend, we got into a little situation. Um, Mainly because I didn't know anything about buying houses. So the biggest objective was for me to research everything, and he kind of took it as I didn't trust him. But my thing is, I'm finding certain things that can benefit me, and I was bringing the light. Not saying that he didn't know his job and he didn't know what he was doing, but I was technically asking a whole bunch of questions, trying to have an understanding of what's going on. So over time, you know, we both, had our talks and understood where we stand and what we was dealing with as far as getting this house. And the process worked out, because with me wanting to know what I was getting myself into, I started doing the research, found out, talked to some people. Um, they tried to give me a high interest rate. I found out I can buy my interest rate down, and you know, I can get a gift from somebody if I didn't have the money to do that, you know. And seeing that, I had the down payment assistance program and fooling around, pay for my closing costs, still had money left over to, go buy furniture and all that other stuff. So that was an option for me. But like I say, a lot of people not knowing that they can do certain things, it's going to be a benefit for you to go out here and learn these things. It's better for you to have an understanding. If I'm going to buy a house, what is all required of me in this process? And that sets the standards with a lot of people, knowing like with the HUD houses, they're decent, but they're more like auction. I when looking for a house, one time I did a HUD house thing, and the way it was structured to me in Georgia with the HUD house, you had to bid on the house, and the house, if it was available for you to, pretty much get, that was the standard. Hold on. All right. So basically, when it come down to it, a lot of people having an understanding what they actually getting themselves into, it helps them out a whole lot better than just, jumping, diving into something, blind, because that's an easy way for people to take advantage of you because you don't know. There are certain processes and things that are in play that they can use to their advantage. You know, if I know that you don't know what you're talking about, or far as what buying the house, given that higher interest rate, it puts more money on your monthly mortgage. And a lot of people don't know that because, you know, an extra 10,000 added on there due to 0.1%, and that's like $100 added on to your monthly payments. And a lot of people not understanding, finding out, like with me when I had bought my car. One of the biggest things with me was to try to figure out if I paid the car off early, was it going to be an issue? And the issue, it wasn't no issue. 9 times out of 10, and most when you have these loans, they'll sit up there and want you to technically not pay the car off so you can pay off the instant. But seeing that there's an issue paying off the principal, you know, and a lot tell you this because, like I said, it's beneficial for them. You know, that's why I keep saying, do your research, know what you're doing, know what you're getting yourself into, the housing process. I mean, that's the whole point of having wealth. A lot of people are pushing nowadays not buying homes because of all the maintenance and stuff you got to do. Well, what if your roof leaks? What if your AC unit goes out? What if your heat goes out? They have warranties for that. The same way you have an extended warranty on your car, they have extended warranties on your house for that. I talked about this last time. There's extended warranties on your house. If there's a situation with your roof, there's an extended warranty for that. They'll take care of your roof. You know, roofs are, I got my roof replaced. It was about $8,000. I only had to come out of pocket my deductible. You know, my AC unit, same thing. I didn't buy my house new; it was used. So of course you're gonna have wear and tear. Things are gonna break. Luckily, with this home warranty that I got, everything fall along the lines of me even getting a refrigerator. Like when I went to go shopping for refrigerators, the amount of money you're spending on refrigerators now is ridiculous. And you have Samsung, LG, good brands, but they're tech companies. So, you know, they work, but for how long? You know, Considering that most things break down easily nowadays, so it's like, how long is it gonna, last to work? And a lot of people going after those because they got TVs, TV monitors on the refrigerator. It's good to, go in there. I can watch some YouTube and look at a cooking course right there on my on my TV. That's wonderful. But then What if the Wi-Fi? What if some mess up with the Wi-Fi? Then I got a screen there. What if the kids run around and playing and bust the screen? Now I got a cracked screen. Who knows how much money it's gonna cost to fix that? If the refrigerator, I priced one of those out around about 35. I think it was like 35 or 38, 3,800. Crack the screen, you probably looking at 800, eight something to replace it. Parts and labor probably 800 to $1,000. You know, the real component of the refrigerator is the cheapest part. The tech is more expensive, and having those extended warranties will help you with that. Same thing with your car. You have an issue with your car, extended warranty. As long as your car is under a certain amount of miles, get extended warranty. You know, most people dread. I know a guy. He does leases because he do every 3 to 5 years he get a new car on a lease, because he said at that particular time, the cars typically mess up around that time. So he never really has a car that he pays off. He always get leases to where he can trade them out and he good, you know. And that's a good system to have if you got the money. But if you ain't got the money, then what? What type of system will you be using then? You know? And that goes back to, a lot of people understanding, money. Like, what are you doing? What are you dealing with? You know, even what I was talking about earlier about getting those free stocks with Robinhood, you know, I'm actually start putting my link in the description too. And I think I got public. I think public pays 70 bucks to join and invest. What is the other one I have? M1. I think M1 has a code. I think I have a code for M1. I have a code for crypto.com to where I can get $25. I can share the code. I'm gonna start putting these in my description. Share the code out. I get $25. You get $25. Set up the account. A lot of people with this new crypto, they don't want. I mean, they want the money or they want to get invested in it, but these new wallets, they're asking for tons of information because so many people have become millionaires off of this. If you didn't get these wallets like early on, or you go through these like offshore apps to get these wallets, it's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. Like, just really understanding, not far as like money wise, but time. Like, because it's so many millionaires being made right now off of this cryptocurrency. The government ain't going for it no more. Like, I'm talking about back in the day, like even all the way down the Silk Road, the guy who he did a lot of transactions on that black web, just say transactions, and the guy made millions of dollars teaching people how to work on that black web. But you know, he thought it was going to be untraceable, in which to a degree crypto is. But if they really want to find you, they just follow the money, and that's what an IRS agent did to find this guy. Follow the money. These guys start getting reckless, transfer money, spending money. When you transfer money out of that crypto into a bank account, then you're labeled. Before then, they don't know you. You can actually get your wallet, set up the name, get somebody to transfer you some money, and be off to the races. You know, and basically, like I keep saying, man, you gotta get in the game to win. Learn some things, have an understanding what you're doing. Overall, do your research. If you're willing to buy a house, you're wanting to buy a house, go out here and research things about buying a house. What is going to be your benefits on buying a house? So, with that being said, like I say, I'm about to get ready to, peel off of here, but it's self-explanatory. Make sure you have the key things and processes when buying a house. Look at FHA, look at HUD, look at all down payment assistance. You can go down payment assistance through most banks will give you down payment assistance. If your bank don't give you down payment assistance, go to another bank. Credit unions are big on helping people, buying houses, buying cars. Even though they get better interest rates, that's why most people buy with them. My next car, I might get one financed through my credit union. It's not gonna be a new car, for sure, not that, because I don't do new cars. I'm gonna pay for all this technology. Crazy. I mean, when I get older, I probably would, do my old man thing, splurge, get me a nice car because I might pay it cash. Other than that, the insurance on it is crazy. Like, people don't understand. Buying those new cars, you still got to pay the insurance on them. So, just a little food for thought. That's why I'm looking. Hopefully, I go ahead and get me a Tesla. They done been out for a couple of years, man. I might go in there and grab me a Tesla. But yeah, man, insurance is crazy. But I'm gonna go ahead and end with this. Like I keep saying, man, do your research. Do your research on crypto. Do your research on stocks. Wanting to buy a house and invest. Research. I see so many people saying that they can't make money. I literally seen a YouTube video of a guy doing Uber Eats on a bike. You mean to tell me you can't get on a bike and go pedal and drop off some food to make money? You ain't spending no gas, and you getting a workout. You getting a complete, like, that should be your workout right there. Getting your workout by just delivering food. It's a part-time thing. People stay out in the sunny states and it's hot. Get you a nice bike, man. Get your air pump and go off to the races. You know, think about getting the flat, get the gel that goes in there. I forgot the name of the gel they got, but you get the gel inside the tire where even if you catch a puncture, it'll be a slow leak. It's not coming out this fast, and it seals up to a certain degree until you get it fixed. But like I say, with all that being said, you always know, man, we here. Shout out to everybody that came through. You know, we here and we gone. Money.